Good morning, Admirals. Today is Thursday, February 29th.
I'm Mike Del Duca.
And I'm Damian Sparks Edwards. Welcome to February, everybody.
As we continue into February, there are barely any off days this month, but up and coming is spring break.
True, Dylan. End of March leading into February would be the longest break we had all year, for a total of 9 days off.
Very exciting, but bringing us back to the present, the Chiefs recently defeated the 49ers.
Low-key, I've been a fan of the Chiefs after the Ravens loss, only because I knew they were going to win. That's great, but with the basketball season entering the postseason playoffs, the baseball players are ready to suit up.
Hi, I'm here with varsity baseball coach, Mr. Herman, and tell me a little bit about how you feel about Hudson and what you do here.
Okay, so I'm the health and phys ed teacher. I teach middle school health and phys ed and high school phys ed. Coming to Hudson, I think this is my 6th year. It was definitely new to me. I'm used to big schools, and the small school was a different, environment for me. I learned to like it. It has a lot of pros to it that other schools don't get to experience. In terms of just getting to know the kids, I think the faculty is more tightly knit than other places, and just like that student-teacher relationship you can grow on a little bit better than other places.
And your first year becoming head coach, you went 7-9, and what did you feel that year was for you?
So I hate to use the term like a rebuilding year because that's so used overly and time and time again. But that team was only freshmen and sophomores, the varsity baseball team. The year before that, we were off the top of my head, I think we were 2-14. That was a record. And we had struggled in the past, so it was kind of like a year to kind of change the culture. The guys joke about me saying that all the time, but to buy into something new and show that we can be successful, even with our small school and making a disadvantage an advantage. And 7-9 overall is close to 500. And for the squad we had, some games we went in with 9 players. So it really was a successful year and like the start to building something new.
Well, that obviously worked out for you because your next season, you went 12-8, including making a short conference tournament and hosting a state game, which this team hasn't done in over a decade. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about it. It was awesome. We had team goals going in. I know the players have their own goals. I have my own goals as a coach. Then we have our unified goals together, and we accomplished almost all of them. We always want to shoot for the best and make a run in the state tournament and reach as far as we can. But the fact that we had that winning season, we qualified for the short conference, it gets our name out there as a baseball school. I think it's important to get the recognition that all the players deserve. You guys really bought into what the coaching staff tries to preach, and it was on you. You know what I mean? You guys did it. You performed. We had a lot of close games. We battled. Earning a top 8 seed in the states was a big deal. That state game was one of the most exciting baseball games I've ever coached. Not just because it was a close game and extra innings, but the environment. People came to watch. You guys played hard. It was special.
And with that year, how do you feel about this year? What is your perspective on this year?
So I always try to go in neutrally, right? We were very successful last year, but every season's a new season, right? That's why you play the games you play, and you start with a 0-0 record. I'm very excited. I think we can build upon last year, and the goal is to always build upon a little bit more each year. There's always going to be up and down years, but I think this year we have a great chance to, take a step forward, even from what we did last year, make a run in states, earn a higher seed in the short conference, and improve our record overall.
And I think that will do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gene.
Man, I said I'm hungry, and Vincent Stabile, unrelated to Mr. Stabile, is coming through with the lunch review.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Vincent. Welcome back to Vincent's Lunch Review here at Henry Hudson Regional High School and Middle School. Let's go ahead to the cafeteria now and get our lunch. Alright, guys. Alright, so it seems like we have personal pizza pie for our lunch today. Let's go into the line and cop this pizza. Alright, guys, so we got the lunch. Let's go head back to the table now. We'll give this a try. So, here we have our personal pizza pie. First thing I'd like to try is the crust. it tastes like metallic-y. Like, it's really weird. Let's try the pizza itself. I think the sauce is really sweet. The cheese is almost non-existent on the pizza. It does not taste like cheese. For the most part, it's mid. It's a 5 out of 10. Let's give the water a try. It tastes like water. Thank you for tuning in to this Vincent's Lunch Review. I will see you all next time.
I'm still going to enjoy the school lunches no matter the rating.
Agreed. I always destroy the nachos.
Couldn't say the same.
I'm always loving Vincent's lunch reviews. They just make me want to get to lunch as soon as possible, but we're still stuck in first period.
That's true, but luckily for us, behind the scenes, Mr. Boylan has a very exciting interview for us, hosted by Colin Woodruff.
I'm here today with Mr. Boylan, and we're going to interview him about his time at Hudson and what he's done around the classroom. All right, so for your first question is, why did you want to work here at Hudson?
Well, I've always been a filmmaker. I've always made films and videos, and I've done, corporate work for people, and I've always loved teaching. I actually got my master's in teaching at Monmouth University, so I always knew I wanted to be a teacher too. So when this job came up, where I live in Atlantic Highlands, a film TV production teacher, it was like the perfect job for me. So I was super excited to be able to teach you guys, TV and film and stuff that I've learned, in my career. So.
Well, we're really happy to have you here.
Well, thanks.
How do you like your time at Hudson so far, Mr. Boylan?
I love it. It's been great. You guys have been awesome. The staff and the administration has been great. It's been a super fun time. I really, really like everybody here, and everyone's been so nice and so pleasant. So it's been super fun.
It's good, it's good. What are some things that you've done around the classroom that have just changed the culture of the classroom?
Well, we've done a couple things. We built a studio, which you can see we're sitting in front of, which was kind of fun. That's something I always wanted to do. When I first came into this classroom, it was kind of a mess. So I had to do a lot of work to upgrade some of the equipment. We have all new cameras now in our TV production studio. We're about to get some all new computers too, which will be great for our editing suites and stuff. So, but I would say I'm most proud of this set. I think this is really cool that we have this set to work with.
It was really fun to build when we
Yeah,
were building it. It was really
cool.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being here when I was coming from just to walk around the school to learn when I was coming here. I remember coming in here and it was like really bland, and it was
Yeah.
it looked sad.
Right.
And now it's like very vibrant and very
Yeah, and all the movie posters, obviously. It's
it's
kind of fun.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's fun. And the lighting, right? Everybody always comes in here and says they like the lighting,
The LED lights make it touch.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, for your last question is, what are your goals to teach your students by the end of the year?
My goal is, I love what we're doing here in Video 2. We're doing the news show, which is great. I'm trying to get my advanced film kids to do more films that we can enter into film festivals, because that's my goal, is to really build up our advanced film class, and by the time maybe you take it, Colin, we'll have a bunch of film festivals and we can make films and enter into film festivals, and then we could do like a class trip to a local film festival and all be there to watch our films on the big screen, which would be super fun.
That would be really fun to do.
It would be.
I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Boylan.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Colin.
your time today.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you, Colin.
Mike, out of the two of us, who would you think who would die in a horror movie first?
Well, I have confidence in myself with these things, so I'd say probably you.
Why you say that? Huh?
I'm just saying, I'd be locked in. I wouldn't be going in the basement, stuff like that.
Me personally, I'm not searching for anything anywhere. If I hear something, I'm going.
Well, that's probably what he'd want you to do. That's the difference between you and I. That's why I live.
Anyway, let's go to Hayden and see what the school has to say about this. After this, a special guest.
Teddy, who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Probably gonna have to go Brandon.
Thank you. Who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Joseph.
Boom. Sophia, who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Riley.
Bam. Yo, Jojo. Who out of your friends would die first in a horror movie?
Luca Tapia.
Kevin, who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Joseph.
Miss Martha, what teacher would die first in a horror movie?
Would I what?
What teacher would die first in a horror movie?
Why do I feel like it would be Mr. Pastor?
Wow. All right, Mr. Grimes, what staff member would die first in a horror movie?
Mr. Pastor.
That's... Blakely, who out of your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Probably Nate.
Good answer. Okay, who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Madison. Shaylin.
Okay, what staff member would die first in a horror movie?
I know I would last the longest. That's all I know.
All right, Evan, who in your friend group would die first in a horror movie?
Definitely Mike G.
Wow. Okay, ready? All right, Max, who out of your friends would die first in a horror movie?
Ethan.
Ethan, great answer. Who out of your friends would die first in a horror movie?
I mean, honestly, probably me.
Okay, Mr. C, out of any staff member, who would die first in a horror movie?
Jeez, my goodness. Mr. Boylan. Right?
Okay, out of any staff member, who would die first in a horror movie?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I would say Mrs. Boylan, only because she always says she's going to die a horrible death in a horror movie, since I love horror movies. So I would say Mrs. Boylan, probably.
It's a good answer.
All right, thank you, Hayden. Great segment. We're here with Mr. C. We're going to be asking him a couple questions about his time at Marist playing football. So how did that go?
Had a good 4-year run. Went to Marist in 1998. Played until 2002. Graduated then. Played quarterback. Held an extra point. Threw some touchdowns. It was a good time.
Nice.
What were your stats there?
We were a run-heavy team, so we didn't really throw that much, but got us in the right run plays and such. Yeah, we were successful, though. Run to play action.
Anybody on your team go pro?
Not my team particularly, but we had a few players after I graduated. Jason Myers played in the NFL, NFL kicker, and another D tackle, I forget his name, but played in the NFL for a little bit.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're talking about this today because you were featured on the Sports Center Instagram page with Sean Stellato, Tommy DeVito's agent.
Instagram famous.
Yeah. So how you been handling all that fame?
It's funny. My text messages and DMs got blown up a lot, so it was kind of interesting. I was sitting in a workshop. I forget what day it was. It was like a Friday or something. And my phone just starts buzzing and buzzing. I probably got between 90 and 100 texts and DMs, and people are like, "Is that you? Is that you?" So yeah, it was me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it must be pretty cool to like relive that whole, it's really a reminder of like the college experience for you.
Yeah, so it's a great experience. Brings back a good time in my life, and definitely, hopefully, Michael and Damien, you guys looking forward to that.
Yeah.
When you get out of here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. C. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
And to everybody, bon voyage.
Bon voyage.